Hey, this is Game Face Monday. It is November 11th, Veterans Day, and we are live. And as always, I'm sitting with Mr. Richie Bello. How you doing, Richie?
Good, Lee. How are you today?
Very good, very good. First things first, of course, we want to, before we start playing any sponsor videos or anything, it is Veterans Day, and we have the distinct opportunity to be able to thank all of our veterans for all of their service and sacrifice that they've made defending our freedoms. So, Veterans Day, right?
Yeah, Veterans Day is a very important day as we have a nonprofit for the last 7 years. We do a lot of stuff for the vets. We're all about the veterans always. And we love our vets, man, And I want to say special thanks to Richards, Jim Richards. Thanks a lot for being in my life. He's a great veteran. He's a good friend. He's a little sick. He was in the hospital and stuff like that. Got a really bad case of the flu. So my prayers go out to him.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, definitely prayers. And it's a huge day, and we wouldn't even be able to do what we're doing right here, right now, if it wasn't for our veterans out there fighting for our freedom on a regular basis. And all right, well, before we get rolling on the show today, just going to run a quick video from Shop Smart Autos, who is our sponsor on our VIN retention report. Getting new customers is exciting and necessary, but while attracting new customers is important, retaining your customers creates an unending stream of revenue that keeps your dealership moving forward. Whether you're a marketing team for car dealerships or a dealership yourself, Shop Smart Autos has your retention tool, the VIN Retention Report. Anyone can find out how many cars they sold in a given period of time, but your VIN Retention Report will show by VIN the vehicles or customers you retained and the ones you lost. But that's not all. ShopSmart's technology can show you where your VINs ended up. Did they trade them in at another dealership? Did they switch models? Did they sell their vehicle privately or go to auction? You're constantly spending marketing dollars and time trying to target your current customers, but you could be marketing to customers that have moved on. And now you'll have the power to see where they went and change your strategy to target them in ways that brings them back. Not to mention, you can identify your strengths and weaknesses within the dealership to help lift up your staff and give them the confidence and drive they need to retain and gain your customers. The VIN Retention Report is yours at ShopSmartAutos, 4 dealers.com. It's the most powerful retention tool out there. All right, so that's our VIN Retention Report, and seems like a more and more, as time goes on, this becomes a more important tool that dealers really need to be getting on board with. A lot of dealers are getting on board with it, but people really need to start to take retention seriously, especially in today's market. So we've got new car prices are an issue for Americans right now. We've got people holding on to cars for 12 plus years. And we've got the absorption problem, right?
Right. So let's talk about that. I'm glad that you brought up the absorption. What is absorption anyway? Absorption is what you're spending in advertising and your expense. The shop absorbs that, right? So you want to be right around 80% or better, and that take out the reconditioning out of that. So, and absorption is a direct hit on retention. If you're not retaining your customers, your absorption is going to be a little bit off, right? So you want to be at 85% absorption, especially with the cost of today's marketing, right? So the vehicle in operation is up on the OEM sector, but it's down per dealership. Well, why is that? Because there's no real loyalty program. There's nobody staying in touch with their customers. There's nobody following up. Years ago, you had great loyalty programs, and that loyalty program is non-existing. A customer buys a car. Let's take an example like a Honda. They buy a Honda. the first time. They're going to go to upgrade it, right? And they go and shop around for Nissan, for their competitors, right? So it's all about the rebate and the best thing and all this. So, but if you stay in touch with your customers using Helms technology, staying in touch with the customer, that at least gives you a shot of bringing that customer in the door.
Right.
And with the vehicle retention, we've identified that there's certain problems, and we've identified a solution. A solution is being in touch with the customer more, staying in the customer's eyes. So when they make that decision, and it's real easy, a customer has a lease and the lease is up in 6 months, you start communicating with that customer and you try to funnel them into your showroom, right?
Right.
So these are all things that's going to help your ROA. What is ROA? Return on assets. Doesn't mean return on ads. It's return on assets.
Okay.
The more vehicles in operation you have, the more your dealership is worth based on when somebody buys it. The less it is, the less it's worth. You need vehicles in operation. Let's talk about something. The average cost to repair a vehicle is $12,100. The average person keeps their vehicle 12 years. You're talking about $12,000. That does not include warranty work. Okay, add warranty work and recalls, and you're talking about $2,500 or $3,000 a year. Okay,
right.
It's a lot of money for the repair side of the automotive sector. You're talking about, so now they got all these tools, okay, to appraise a car. Let me tell you something, and I'm looking for a really good used car person, a director that works for a big auto group, to see how they look at things. So you're supposed to look at a car at vAuto, the numbers, right? That's just a guideline. What do you do past that when you got to structure a deal? Okay. What could I get for this car? How much could I sell that car for? Right. That's just a guideline. So we're missing a lot of opportunities. And the problem is that another competitor has somebody with that mindset and is taking it on trade, putting it in their front line, delivering that car. And what happens when you deliver a car? You start making money in the shop.
Right.
So it's very important to take in trades. Very, very important before they go to the private seller sector, because once they go to the private seller sector, now they got the money and now they're going to pick what they want. Okay. So let's start thinking about looking at a vehicle, what you can sell it for. The numbers that vAuto has, it's on the platform. Okay, that's a guideline. Okay, now you got to think about what you can sell it for. Right. These stores that they're on the plus side on wholesale. Well, that division doesn't make anybody any money. The division you want to be is the shop. The more vehicles you have, the more you're going to make.
Sure.
In the shop, you're talking about $1,200 to repair a car and maintenance a year. The average person keeps a car 12 years. That's $12,000, almost $13,000 plus.
Right.
That does not include warranty work and does not include recall.
Right.
Okay. So you're talking about a lot of money here that dealers you're missing.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you're missing it based on trades. Right. A used car lot in Arizona takes in all kinds of trades, has a shop and repairs it, and he's doing a tremendous job. Okay, from dealers not stepping up on the trades.
Right. And now, also, like you were saying earlier, someone's lease is up, so you want to start hitting them with marketing, stay in touch, using Helm technologies and such. But also the mindset of knowing where that VIN goes if you lose the VIN.
Right.
Is a beautiful thing, because it's not just a lost cause, right? We can target these people, market them throw them a free oil change, get them back into the service department.
Right. Even
Yeah.
if you lose a customer in sales, you should reach out to Helms Technology for the return on service. Use the VIN retention to see the customer, what you lost them to, and now you know what you got to promote in service,
Right.
and get that customer back in the door. Keep your vehicles of operations going. The problem is the customer doesn't go to you, you don't reach out, you lost a customer, that's it, you're done. And then when it comes to marketing perspective on DMS, you're targeting people that didn't even, that's it, they bought a car somewhere else, you don't know. What we do at ShopSmart is we give you the data so you know the customers you're targeting that are in-market customers.
Right.
Not just blasting everybody out.
Right.
Okay, so you're being more digitally, as we could say, digitally focused.
Right.
You're reaching out to in-market customers, which keeps that at a higher funnel instead of the low-end funnel.
Right.
So you got a better conversion shot of Helms Technology. That's why they're doing so great, because they're really looking at the data. They're really reaching out to that customer that's in market. What do you want to reach out to? Customers that are in market or customers that are just not in market?
Right.
You want to reach out to customers that are in market.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can get the sale.
Yeah. And then what about, I mean, you get these people, you bring them in. Sometimes it's a whole new, let's say you lose a VIN, right? You lose 30 VINs. You target them with marketing to
Right.
come into the service department. Now you get these people into the service department. Yes, there's a ton of money to be made in service, but what kind of training does the sales floor need to get into that service department and flip these people back into vehicles in your dealership?
Well, the training goes like this, Lee. Like, let's say you go to the service department and I see you, say you have a Toyota. I says, hey, Lee, what's going on? So what are you doing here today? Well, I'm in service. Lee, I know. I saw that Toyota that you have. You know that I have, we sell here based on a wish list, right? And I have 3 or 4 customers that are in market for your vehicle. And to buy it at the auction is so much more. And the risk, Lee, is so much greater because we don't know what we're getting. With you, we know you're a previous customers. Would you at least consider seeing your options for us to buy the vehicle?
Yeah.
Now you're planting the seed for you to buy the vehicle. You haven't talked about trade. You're looking to buy your car because I have 3 customers that are in market for that type of car.
Right. Right.
Now the customer's going to listen to you because everything has a number for sale. Everything. So now you put the customer in the proactive mode of him selling you the vehicle for one of your customers. Yeah, right. Sure, Richie, no problem. All right, great, Lee. Let's appraise it. Let me get a number on it so I can take that car and sell it to one of my customers. I got 3 of them on this particular brand.
Right.
Right. So now I'm getting you at back. I'm putting you in a car, and now I'm going to sell you, and now I'm going to trade in your car.
Right.
Now, what did I do with that when you do that as a business person? I increased my sales. I increased my trade, right? And now I'm taking in a car that might need very light reconditioning because you're the owner and you go to service a lot, right?
Right. Right.
Now everybody wins here.
Right.
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 So now it's great. And I asked you the qualifying questions, Lee, does your car have an extended warranty? The reason I'm asking that because I can transfer that extended warranty into another car. But not only that, I know that all warranty work has been done to the car.
Right.
So I'm already taking you in as a great opportunity. And that's all you got to do. You should have your sales team work the service lane every day.
Right.
Just on that, just what I just showed you right now, nice and easy, boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk to 10 customers, you're going to convert 3 of them, or at least 2 of them.
Oh,
And
interesting.
how the presenter is, we work on a wish list here when customers come in and we don't have the particular model. I
Right.
have 3 people that are on your vehicle.
Right. Yeah. No,
Now
that's
the
cool.
customer's perception, oh man, supply is in demand. My car is in demand.
Yeah. Yeah. But people need that training because
Yep.
that's not what my experience has never been seen. I've never seen that go down that way. It's kind of like,
Well,
you know,
I've done that way my whole life in the car business, and I've trained that the whole way. It's how to plant the seed. A salesman is nothing more than a stockbroker. Stockbrokers don't sell you anything; they plant you the seed,
right.
and it lets your when you plant the seed in here, it just festers, and then you start convincing yourself. People sell themselves all the time.
Right. Right. Awesome. And just going to take a quick inside look at the VIN retention report so people can get a closer view on what the data looks like. So here you can see an example of your VIN retention report. Right at the top, you're going to see the total VINs you sold over a period of time. You're going to see the sales that you retained. You're going to see the VINs that ended up going on the market elsewhere. You could see it broken out by month. And it's really going to give you a good picture of how your retention situation is going. As you move on, these are your past VINs sold relisted in the last year. So whether they were on your website or a competitor's website, you're going to get to see. These are the VINs that were sold by your dealership by month. So you can see when your peaks and your valleys. Now you move on and you can see these are the VINs that you lost and what dealerships they went to, which is a huge, huge advantage. Which vehicles went to auctions that were your VINs. You see, this isn't just about knowing how many vehicles you sold. This is for sale by owner. These are your VINs. These are the models that you lost. So now you can see which vehicles, why are we losing so many souls and so many Sportages as compared to other vehicles? And then you have the positive side. These are the ones that you retained. So in the end, you're not just marketing to people in your CRM that may have gone somewhere else already, and now you can see where they've gone and you can target them to get them back. Yeah, I say that in the middle of that video. That's my voice, of course. And I said, it's not like we're just showing you what cars were sold. And I sounded probably like a little angry when I said that, because that's all I ever heard about was, this is how many cars we sold. This is how many cars that guy sold. Why didn't we sell as many cars as that guy? And that was it. Make more calls, and instead of knowing where the VINs went, figuring out why these people are leaving, targeting them specifically to get them back in different ways, and catering the marketing efforts to the right people, instead of call after call after call with people going, I already got a Honda, I already did this. It's such an amazing tool, that VIN retention report. But yeah, and so back to Veterans Day. The Institute has a pretty amazing offer for veterans, right?
Yeah. I think we're working on some really, really good offers right
Go High
now.
Level being one, right?
Yeah. And one of our offers is, let's say you go out and get an SBA as a new veteran. You come into the market, you get an SBA. So let's say they only give you, let's say you're asking for $1 million and you only get 700,000. Our funding partners through the Institute will give you the 300 to start yourself a business.
Wow.
Right. So we're making up what you need as your capital. And the SBA is always cutting back down to 60%. So you need $1 million to give you 600,000 at At the Institute, we're going to give you the difference with our funding partners.
That's huge. That's huge. And
for
then
all veterans.
once they're up and running, Go High Level is still on the table?
Go High Level is a platform that's totally for free for veterans from day one, and it's always for nothing. We want to put veterans in businesses. That's what we do.
Yeah, that's the best. You've got a group of people that dedicated their lives to serving our country and helping us maintain our democracy, our freedom. They're well trained. They're always ready and willing to work hard and do the right thing, but they're coming home to a story that didn't pan out the way they were originally told, right?
And I want to say something about that. The whole thing with Richie Bello, not just the Institute, Richie Bello's heart for the veteran is like this. Because I have a nonprofit, I had the opportunity to watch the recruiting process. Now, anybody knows anything about me, I'm always like learning, right? I'm not big on always be closing. I'm big on always be learning.
Right.
So when I went to Washington, there's a press release out there with Phil Rowe. I said, I need to know what your process is to recruit veterans. Now, the reason I wanted to know that is I wanted to know what they're pitching.
Right.
When I went through the process back in Phoenix in the Arizona recruiting office, I really almost fell off the chair.
I bet.
They sell you stuff that's not true, worse than a car salesman, to get these young kids to go to the military.
Yeah.
When those kids come back, 50 or 60% of the stuff they don't get.
Right.
Just the mindset alone. You know what that does to somebody? That's why 45% of the veterans the first year go homeless.
Wow.
Okay, 45%, guys. That's why the suicide rate for veterans is so high. Because here it is, you got sold something, and you go and come back, and you start working the programs that you're supposed to, that they told you to, and you don't get much.
Man.
And now you left when you weren't married. Chances are you're married, and chances are you have one kid. And now you come back, and what do you do then?
Right.
Okay,
right.
So it's very, very important. They don't have a good recruiting process, no transparency, tell you whatever you want to hear to sign you up.
Right.
Because they get paid on sign-up.
So the Institute can help out with the funding. Once they have the funding and the business is up and running, right. The Institute can help out with the marketing.
Right.
Which Go High Level has everything they need to get things rolling.
Correct. Go High Level is a tremendous marketing platform.
Yeah, pretty incredible. All right. Well, anything else we actually want to get a salesman on the show, right? To talk.
Yeah, I want to get a guy or a lady, because there's ladies out there as good as any guy, actually better. That's really a professional in the used car business, because I want to find out some information on the certified programs, on why ain't we using more certified vehicles? Why don't we deliver more certified vehicles than anything? We should be at 90% certifications.
All right. And is that just a used car salesperson or a manager?
Yeah, I'm looking for a manager, or it could be a top sales guy. It could be somebody that's really knows the used car business.
Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, if you're out there, we'd love to have you on the show. And as always, Richie, I'm very thankful for being here with you today, especially today on Veterans Day.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. And it's always a pleasure speaking to you, having this podcast with you. I look forward to it every single week.
Thank you, sir. All right. And thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. And we will catch up with you again next week.
Thank you.